Hey everybody, what's up? And welcome to this week's episode of Embodied Divinity. Today, we are going to talk about the power of aligning with your dreams and desires and really how you do it. So, huge topic already at the beginning of 2024 has been that the universe responds to the frequency at which you live your life, not how much you do, not how much you achieve. And today we're really going to dive into what exactly that means, how you raise your frequency, and why this is how it works. As always, I want to remind you that the doors to the Inner Child School of Art Unlearning are open now. If you desire to join at our founding members rate of only $11 a month, it gives you complete access to the entire Inner Child School of Unlearning based off of the Inner Child Oracle cards. So it's a really powerful way to reparent your inner child and some of the stories you tell yourself. I also have my Embodied Divinity mentorship program, 6 months of one on one work together in an intimate container where we look at your unique energetic blueprint and help you to not only better understand yourself, but to really master your own energy so you can live permanently from your higher self. You can check out both of those offerings with a link below wherever you're listening to this. And I invite you to join me. It's always so much fun connecting and meeting new people. So let's dive in. How do I simply change my frequency to align with my dreams and desires rather than go out and do so much? So, we've been programmed, especially in America, to do, achieve, achieve, achieve. We have all of these external programs present within us that say if you want to be successful, you must do this, you must be this, you must achieve this. This is what success looks like. We have been programmed from a very young age to be worker bees, to be fulfilling other people's dreams. And in fact, in America, which is supposed to be like the land of the dreams, what we really are is a whole bunch of pieces and parts of a greater machine. And it's in breaking away from that, of forging your own path, of creating your own reality based off of your dreams and desires. That's the goal here. And unfortunately, society has made it very hard. And so a lot of people will either give up or won't even try in the first place to create something for themselves because we get bogged down by all the pressures and responsibility of the world because we have these limiting beliefs that are telling us that this is the right way. And so I want you to know as questions arise for you as I'm speaking today, you can ask them below wherever you're listening to this. And also, they will probably be answered because I'm very aware of the questions asked because I asked them too. You guys know my life hasn't been sunshine and roses. There were so many moments where I just wanted to survive. And a lot of the hardest moments in my life came down to having to make choices based off of finances and wealth and safety, which is a really hard place to make decisions from because you're making decisions from a lower frequency. What I wish I could have embodied way back then is the knowing that the amount of money in my bank account had nothing to do with my worth, that I could feel good and detach from all these external weights and pressures put around wealth and achievement and success. And so a lot of the questions I get asked when we talk about this is like, okay, but what about bills and real life responsibilities and putting roof over my head, or if you have kids like I do, like how do I even feed my kids and still walk away from these things? Well, two things. If your job is allowing you to feel security, keep your job while you build something, and tell yourself every day that you're choosing that job because right now it's helping you feel safe and secure. Don't go to your job complaining and like, oh, I have to do this, I hate this, because you're amplifying those energies. See it as a means to an end. I'm choosing to go to this job that I don't necessarily love, but I'm so grateful I have it because in this moment it allows me to feel safe. And as you raise that frequency, as every moment, every time you receive wealth, you receive a paycheck, you receive a coffee from a friend, you're sinking into gratitude for that and keeping your eye on the prize, the thing you really desire, taking baby steps and investing energy into it, you can create that safety. Or you do what I did and you totally live with reckless abandon and you just walk away and start something new. Now, the reason that that worked out for me, the reason I could walk away from being a dean of students and having this beautiful career and jump into something else is because I live knowing, and I want you to hear this language, I live knowing my prayers will be answered, my dreams will come true. It is not a wondering. When I say a prayer, I know it will be answered. When I pray for something in my life, when I say, higher self, God, guardians, universe, please create wealth in my life. Please expand the wealth in my life. Please help me align with the wealth in my life. I can then let it go because I know it's being answered. I'm not sitting here looking for every way that wealth can come to me, every way wealth can be expanded. I'm living knowing I asked for this and therefore it's happening. What an easy way to live, right? Knowing our prayers are answered. What ends up happening though is a lot of people will desire something, they'll intend on something, they'll write these really beautiful intentional letters to the universe or do these amazing new moon rituals or pray over a candle or whatever it might be, and they'll have this beautiful intention. Even like making vision boards, they'll get so excited and make these beautiful vision boards, and then the next day they wake up and they don't see the car they desired in their driveway, and so they're like, this doesn't work, immediately lowering their vibration. The way that manifestation works isn't this automatic overnight thing where you dream of a car and a car appears. It's really about how you feel in each moment. And the better you feel, the higher vibrational that you're operating on a consistent basis, the more you magnetize the things you desire. The universe responds to the frequency that you live your life at. And so, if you're living your life in constant gratitude, even when you have very little, and this is what saved me, gratitude and faith are the two things that saved me. They allowed me to honestly be a little bit delusional, which also saved me because I walked through life in awe and gratitude. I'd see a penny on the ground and I'd pick it up and I'd say, thank you. Thank you for this penny. Meanwhile, I had people in my family who would throw coins away, who would vacuum them up, and then wonder why they had such a terrible relationship with money. I was constantly in awe. Whenever I received a drink or somebody paid for a meal, I'm so lucky. This is such a beautiful blessing. Thank you. Anytime anything happened in my life that felt really good, I would sink into deep gratitude. And then on the other hand, when things happened in my life that were harder, more uncomfortable, instead of saying, woe is me, why is this happening? I'd say, oh, I'm going to experience this. I'm grateful for this experience. And this is showing me what I truly desire. This heartbreak is showing me that I want to live wrapped in love. This grief is showing me that I desire intimate connections. This sadness is showing me the joy that I'm not experiencing right now. And so I could see those experiences as just that, and I could feel them fully. And then once I felt them and validated them, I could focus on what I truly desired. And it was from living my life in that way that slowly but surely my physical reality started to change. The amount of money in my bank account started to change, started to grow, started to expand. The relationships in my life, they all fell away. 'Cause I was surrounded by people who were living life at that lower frequency like I was. The more I grew, the more people fell away. And then I went through this isolation and I found this deep gratitude for myself and source. And then I started to magnetize these really beautiful, powerful, high vibrational relationships. My relationship with my own children evolved slowly but surely into a beautiful healing container for all three of us. It wasn't this overnight gradual change. And it's so hard, especially with social media and marketing and all of these things. People look at all of these success stories and they only see the success. But what a lot of people don't see is the dedication that it takes every day to live intentionally, to live with gratitude in your heart and hope at your fingertips and a knowing deep in your soul. It's a conscious choice through the good times and the hard times. And it's living in that conscious way. Not only does it feel better, like a lot of people ask, like, but why am I doing this? Like, my circumstances aren't changing, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? I would much rather live in a hard situation full of gratitude than a hard situation full of doubt and despair. And that's the one thing you get to choose. You get to choose how you respond to your current circumstance and reality. You can say, woe is me. You can say and fester in all of the pain and agony of it. Absolutely go for it. But know this, you can also live it in gratitude. You can focus on the fact that you're still breathing. You can focus on the fact that you still have water to drink or a bed to lie in or whatever it might be. You can focus on the good parts. And as you do, as you choose to find joy in the hardest moments in life, you're going to see a shift. I promise you. I have seen it. I've experienced it. I have been on my deathbed, not only because of the cancer, but also mentally just wanting to not be here anymore. I have had eviction notice served to me as an only parent, two tiny humans dependent on me. I've walked away from terrible relationships. I have broken my own heart. I've abused myself and I've been the subject of abuse. And in each of those moments, I rose up. And I'm telling you this so that you know. I'm not just speaking from this place of love and light. I know the hell that life on earth can be. And I know that you can change it by changing the way you're responding to your current circumstances. Even if right now your life is pretty okay, but you want more. Start living right now like you already have the more. Start living right now. Make plans for it. As I started to manifest traveling and this next phase of life me and my kids are entering into, my daughter and I are going on a really huge international trip every single year. We made this promise every single year until I pass, which I'm saying that because I pray to God I pass before any of my children. Every single year, we're going on this huge international trip. The way that we create them is by getting excited for them. Right now, we're planning a trip to Paris in October. So we're both looking at all the things about Paris. We're both picking out outfits. We're making plans about being there. We're looking at the food. We're learning French. We're preparing for it now and excitement for it now. And our fund, our Paris fund, the more we do that, the more it grows, the more it expands, the more both her and I have these opportunities to receive the wealth or the plane tickets or the suggestion for a really beautiful place to stay. And we're receiving that with gratitude. It's the same way that I created the house that we're living in now. I made plans for it. I got excited about it before it was a reality. I saw myself dancing in the kitchen, watering my plants, and feeling the awe and gratitude that came with the safety of having my own home for my children. when me and my son were going through a really hard time in our relationship, when we just couldn't seem to get along, I tapped into the feeling of what it would feel like to be in pure, unconditional love with him. Every morning and every night, and every time I was going to go interact with him, I would tune into this frequency. I would just let my love pour into this vision of me and him hugging and getting along and really just seeing each other from a place of love. And I did that every day, regardless of how the relationship actually was, regardless of if he was cranky, if we were misinterpreting each other's communication, whatever it was. I held this vision. And slowly but surely, I started to see him open to this vision. And now we live that relationship of love and connection and safety, of really healthy communication and so many hugs, excitement to be around each other. I held the vision. I didn't focus on the fact that he was going through all these emotional hormonal changes, that he was a cranky bear, that all of these different things, I didn't focus on those. I could have. I see many mothers do that and then they nitpick and they tear down and they yell. I didn't do that. I focused on the good, on the love I wanted to create. This is how we change our lives, our relationships with ourselves and the world around us, by focusing on what you desire. When we focus on all the hurts and the pains of the past, and there's a difference between bypassing them and not focusing on them, the human psyche truly doesn't need to live in the past. We can look at it, we can validate it, we can say what we learned from it, and then we can make the conscious choice to move on. What I see over and over again is people aligning with their past because it's so much easier to blame their past or other people than be brave enough to change. I know it can be so scary because if you feel like you focus on all the good and you have this really deep gratitude and you really put yourself out there and anything goes wrong, you might feel disappointment, you might feel hurt, and that's true, you might. But at least you lived up until that moment in a place of gratitude and love and ease. I think so often we're so scared to feel the good, to experience the magic because we have this underlying fear of it going away. But when you start to see all of life as this beautiful, glorious experience, whether the emotions and circumstances you're experiencing are labeled good or bad, it doesn't matter. They're all experiences we get to have in this human existence. And it's the way that you respond to those and perceive those that change your reality. This is your permission slip to put on your rose-colored glasses, to see the world through that hue of love and know that every day it can get better and better, that you can create a better and better reality for yourself by aligning your heart and mind, by aligning with your soul, with your knowing. I'm not saying it's easy, but I am saying it's worth it. If you are stuck in those places in the past, I encourage you to either join the Inner Child School of Unlearning or buy the Oracle cards and slowly reparent yourself into higher perspectives. And if you're there, if you're ready, and you want some guidance to truly live from that high vibrational state, Embodied Divinity, my mentorship program, is where you want to be. It is the place where you open to the miracles and magic of life, and I invite you to join me. I'm so proud of you for being here today. On Wednesday, I have a 3-part series with Douglas White starting, where we're going to walk you through the process of true manifestation and the law of attraction. And every Friday for the next 3 weeks, I'll be releasing a new guided meditation all about high vibrational manifestation, whether it's in your sleep or in your day to day. So stay tuned for all that's coming. I love you guys so much. As always, breathe deep and plan on miracles.